your old apartment, okay, from the earlier exercise assignment. So this is what we have earlier on. Okay. So now you will go to your level 1. For mine, I only have one kind of door and one kind of window. Okay. At the moment. Okay, so what I will just do is I will just create another window. I'll choose a different window type, like this very small one, just to differentiate. So I'll add one more window here, maybe one more window here, one more window here. Okay, and I'll go to architecture, door, and I will change to another door. So this was the standard door. I'm going to change to a smaller door, 762. Right, and maybe I will add a door in between these two rooms. Okay, similarly over here, another door in between these two rooms. So there are two different kinds of windows, two different kinds of doors now. Okay. The next thing that we want to do is we want to tag them properly, because as of now you can see this drawing is very nice and neat, right? But we are unable to show the differences between these two windows, or these two different kinds of doors, this small one and this small one. Okay, so we need to use tags, T-A-G-S, tags. If you select on any one of the window now, and you go to your scroll down, you will see over here that under identity data, the mark for this particular window is 4. Okay, and for this one is 5, 1, 2, 3, and 6. So probably when I was modeling these windows, I click here first, and then after that 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay, that's how Revit identifies these windows. Okay, but what we want to be able to do is to be able to represent this correctly, whereby you will select all of these windows by holding on to Control on your keyboard, right? And then we will change this to mark W1. Okay, apply. So this is for the windows. Then there are two other windows that we have over here, right? That I've just newly modeled. I can click on these two windows, and then I will change this mark. So you have to scroll up here and change this to W2 and click on apply. Okay. So now I have this all marked as windows, and these are marked as window 2. Okay. And now let's go ahead for this, and this, and this. Oh, this is actually a different kind of door. Wait, I'm gonna choose these 3 first, and I will change the mark to be D1 for this. Apply. Okay. And I have these ones. These are similar. And this one will be called D2. And lastly, I think this and this are the same. Okay, so this one should also be D1. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to label them so that it's clear. So right here on top here, there's a button. The shortcut is TG. Let me just change my. Okay, so it's more obvious. Okay, so click on this particular button over here. And you will uncheck leader. Okay, mine is unchecked because I've done this before, right here. And you will just click on those elements that you want to label. Okay. Let me just do it also for these two windows first. Okay. So this, you can see that they have different numbers now. That's because of the identity that is assigned to the two different kinds of windows. Okay, 24 and 10. You select one of the leaders and go to modify, edit family. Click over here and click on the label. Then click on edit label. Okay. So as you can see, this is the type mark. It shows the difference between the types of windows. And that number 10 and 24 is ascribed within Revit itself. So you're not able to change that. What we want to do is to assign the mark here. So click here, click on the green button, apply, okay. And then this is a number that you can always customize in your own project. So click on load into project and close, right? And then you would want to change these settings. You can call this a different name. Okay. So now you will have to edit the label. Somehow just now it didn't save properly. Let me just go back here, click apply, okay. Go into project and close, click save. So you want to override the existing and its parameter values. Okay, so now it's safe. So you have W1 and W2 over here. Okay. So similarly, this one, let's click on the window. And you see here, the main reason why this did not change is we didn't change the mark in the original window. So now you will just click on the window and then change to W2 and apply. Okay, so now this is how you have been able to label your windows according to the different types. Okay, you can also further customize the appearance of this. I will just show it very quickly. Like for example, here you can change this to look like this. Okay, and once you override, you adjust all of this already. So you can change the design, you can change the color, so on and so forth. I will not go into detail about that. Okay, so now what you have done is you have been able to update this properly and label all of the windows nicely. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to put this into a new sheet. So go to Sheets, right click, New Sheet. This is the title block that we have set up earlier, so we can just use that, click OK. And now you can drag this new level 1 over here. So when that happens, you can right click, duplicate view. And I'm just going to choose this one. Rename it. And I can say this is my door plan. Oh, sorry, window plan. Go to the sheets, drag and pull the window plan here. Okay. So you can repeat the same thing. Place all your text again in this new window plan. And then we go back to here. Okay. So this is your window plan. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a schedule. We go to View, click on this particular button here, Schedules, and now choose Windows. So you can search inside here. Click on this, click on OK. So effectively what that has done is it will search through your entire Revit file and look for a window kind of family. Okay. Now what we want to be able to put this as a field will be the family, the type, and then the sill height. Okay, sill height is how high above from the floor level that your window will be. Okay, and lastly, the count. Count meaning the amount of windows that you have in this particular project that is of this particular type. Then you will search for curtain walls instead of windows. Yes. So this currently is your schedule. You will find this right over here in the project browser inside this window schedule. I'll go back to the sheet. I will drag and pull this right over to here. Okay, just indicatively speaking. So now with this particular sheet of drawing, you have already identified different kinds of window types. So there's a casement double, and then a fixed window, and these are the dimensions and where you put them on. Okay. Yes. So when you select, when you go back to your schedule, right? So these are the counts, right? They are counting it each once. So to fix this issue, you have to go to sorting group edit. And instead of itemize every instance, you uncheck this and click OK. So now what will happen is if you were to select, say, your window casement, there's 9. And then double hub fix will be 2. Okay. But now what we want to do is we also want to show the different categories, right? So you need to sort them. So you click on sort them by family. Or you can also sort by type. Wait, okay, let's do this. Uncheck this. Click on this family.
Which one do you select? Which one? Select one.
The family type and then count and seal height. You can also search from here.
Family type and then still height.
Seal height. Okay. So by unchecking them and you're changing them to the fixed.
Don't have.
No, you're doing a sheet list. This is sorry. This is wrong. This should be under schedule and then window. So this size you can also customize, right? But I will not do it now. You all can adjust it by yourselves. The next thing that we need to do now is the legend. Okay, we want to be able to show these windows in plan and elevational view. So to do that, we will need to go to annotate, or in fact, let's just go straight to legends, right click and create a new legend. That's the fastest way. And I can call this my window legend. And you can put it to say 1:20 so that you can occupy more space on your drawing. Now click on component under annotate and place it here. You'll only see an X, but that's because now you have not selected what kind of component you want to display. A component is like a particular example of your family. So if I were to remember correctly, our windows just now was basement double, this one, okay? And just place them here. Okay, so this original one that I've just have, I will again select the same thing. Window casement double, but now I can change this to elevation front. It's perfectly aligned here. Okay, so I will shift this down now. By using the arrow key. Okay. And I'll start doing some dimensions. Okay, you can go here, click linear, and say, for example, you want to dimension. I mean, let's just do a line, so it's faster. So click on this and align it here. And then you can click on this and this and align here. Okay, you can also have some further dimensions that you can set up. Okay, so I'll just make it very quick, something neat and tidy like this. So this is the first windows. Okay. And then after that, we will again insert another component. And we will choose the small one that we have, the width, the M fixed over here. So you have the first one, which is the fixed, the elevation, the floor plan view, and then versus the elevation view. Again, create dimensions. It depends on the kind of windows that you have. So essentially, it's always best to dimension the openings, the width versus the height. Okay, it's always the width versus the height. Okay. So something like this. And you can also add further organization to this by clicking on Annotate Detail Line. Okay. So I'm gonna draw another line somewhere here, to here, here, to here, to here. And then from here to here. And lastly, here. Okay, I can select all of these and I can nudge them to be the center. And I can also include my text over here. And I can say this is W1. And then similarly here, W2. No, it will automatically know that it's it will not show as tag because you are tagging it in the family. You can change the size of your text also, right? So same thing, select both of these and then choose, like, say for example, double the size under edit type. And then center them to the window for neatness. Now go back to the sheet, which is here. And you can drag and drop your legend inside here. Okay. So essentially, this is a very quick way for you all to be able to quantify the amount of elements that you have inside of your projects. Especially when you do tender documentation, you need to know how many windows there are. And also to be able to directly link between the kind of windows to the information. And any further specific thing that you want to indicate to the fabricator or to the contractor, and so on and so forth. For example, sometimes you may even go back to here. So you go back to your legend and you can make further annotations. Type a text and say that this glass shall be double glazed glass. Okay. And then point to here as a note. Okay, this is for further detailing for your documentation. So the interesting thing about this, right, as opposed to if you were to do it manually within Rhino itself, you will always need to have to update your window schedule manually. You have to count it by yourself. But say, for example, now in Revit, if you were to go back to, say, my window plan again, okay, let's just have a quick check. Now the number of W1 is 6, W2 here is 3, and these are all the labels that we have had. Okay, so, oh, I didn't label it here, so I have to go back my window plan. And then I will tag this guy. No, because that one comes later. So you always search by family. Yes. But now if I, for example, I don't want this as a double window. Okay. And remember that time just now, we had how many window ones? 6, right? Okay, I'm going to delete 2 of them in my windows, in my window plan. I'll select this, I delete. So the tag also disappears by itself. So same thing here, I will delete. If I go back to my sheet view, it will automatically count. Okay, and you also update it accordingly. Your 3D model, you go to view, 3D view. You will also see that it has updated itself. Okay, so everything is consistent. Once you set up this system, right, you do not need to interface between it manually. Okay, which is why Revit has its benefits over Rhino in terms of documentation. But in terms of design, of course, Rhino is easier to model as well as to optimize certain designs. Okay. So just as a recap, now you can also rename this to be your window schedule. Okay. So these are the items. I'll go back to the notes. So you see here, updating your, we have created window schedule. How to do that? How to create a legend? How to create annotations? So dimensions and annotations. So the title block part here, you just need to add, go to your title block and edit your title block. And you can add, like, say, for example, a new text here, and supposed to put in tender. Can change it to a big size. Yeah. Okay. So this is just a quick walkthrough of how you will be able to do it. But then what I will also do is I will share with you good window schedule options for you to replicate. Annotations, yes. But in fact, okay, it depends on you. You can even annotate in the sheet as well. So you can click on the text here, and you can annotate here as well. So for example, here you can put that interior. So this is the interior. And then this one, you can call this the exterior. But what I've done now, right, is I have edited this in the sheet, not in the legend. So when I go back to my legend, it's not here. It's written in the sheet itself. Okay, so when you annotate in the sheet, it is sheet specific annotation. But when you annotate in the legend, then it will be replicated throughout the entire legend itself. For all instances of the legend. So for example, now I can duplicate. Okay, I have to like duplicate the view. Okay, and then now to put this in. Oh, never mind. But you understand, right? Essentially, for the legend, it will replicate in all other views. Later on, I will share the entire, like how I have done it for the earlier assignment, right? The good things to aspire to, what kind of information. Okay. If you feel that this scale is a bit too small, right, you can always go back to your window legend, select this and change it to 1:10 scale. And it will update itself, see? Now it has become much bigger.